Everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about rotating image. In my channel, I usually talk about things like tech, Tesla videos, and a lot of Swift stuff, and how to work on Teslas, things that you could do, tips and tricks. Recently, I've gotten into LeetCode, and in this channel, we're going to also do a lot of LeetCode questions, and I'm going to be doing most of them in Swift. I've noticed that a lot of them are in Java and Python, which is why I decided to create a channel which includes only Swift solutions. If this is interesting to you, please consider subscribing to this channel. I try to post at least one LeetCode question a week. If you like it, please subscribe, and so you get all the videos as soon as possible. And if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. So to get started, today we're trying a little different kind of structure here. Instead of going through the whole solution immediately, I'm going to show you the solution first, just for anyone who just came to the video just for the solution. Here it is. I've also gotten the liberty to basically drawn out a diagram to explain exactly what the solution does. So to start, we have a rotate function with a in-out. What in-out does means that we are changing this parameter immediately. And basically what happens is when you call this function here, it will be rotate, and then whatever the function is, and then so for example, if we had a let's say var m of type equals to int of a double array int, right? So we'll do that, for example. Let's just say this is m, and then we call it, we'll just do ampersand m, and what this does is tells that, so whenever we call the rotate function and it changes the matrix, it immediately changes m. Instead of us returning something, for example, it'll change that object or that variable on its own, which is basically what the in-out does. So anyways, we start a rotate function here, and then we do reverse. So what we're doing is we're moving everything in reverse. So as you can see, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, now it's 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And that's what this for loop does. An easier way is obviously just to call the matrix.reverse. This is the cheating way, obviously. When you do an interview at any tech company, usually the interviewer might challenge you a bit and ask you, instead of doing that reverse, how about you just do a reverse function? They may not do it, but I try to do it just in case they do, just to keep practice. So that's a for loop for reversing a 2D array. Then we're going to do a swapping method. So to do the swap, you do a double for loop, and the way it will work is the first for loop is going to go through the rows, and the second for loop will go through the columns, and the columns will be based off of the rows. So when we have row 0, we're only going to go from 0 to 2, and then obviously when we move down to row 1, we're going to go from 1 to 2 only, because when you do the swap, for example, at 0, you're going to be swapping with the second row and the third row as well, or the first row and second row. So just to show you, for 0, 1, 2, this is the column, right? Let's just say our row right now is 0. So we start at 0 and we come to column, and column now is 0, 1, and 2 is your column indexes that you'll be going through, because it's up to matrix.count, but less than that, so it's not including count, so there's no 3. So we start at 0, 0, and with in this swapping function, what we're doing here is we have a temporary storage of the current matrix at row index and column index. We're storing it because we're changing it immediately to column index and row index. That way, when we switch column index to row index, we're actually getting the value of row index, column index, instead of the new one, which is column and row index. Sounds confusing when I say it, but it's pretty much a simple temporary storage to swap two values. It's a really basic swapping method. So that's pretty much what it does. It just swaps it. So from there, we go from 0 and 0. When you put row index 0, column index 0, you're just swapping itself. Nothing happens. Then we move on to 0, 1. And 0, 1 is currently 8. And what we do is 0, 1 becomes 1, 0. So at 0, 1 now, 8 goes over to where 4 is, and 4 goes to where 8 is. And that's literally what it does here. Right here comes to right here, right? Then we move to 0, 2. And at 0, 2, we're doing the same thing. So 9 swaps with 1, because that's a 2, 0, and that becomes 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then that is done with column index. It breaks. Then it doesn't. So the for loop ends, and it comes to row index again. Now row index becomes 1. So now row index is 1, and our matrix of column index can only be 1 and 2. And again, this is for efficiency, because we already swapped here at zeros. We wouldn't have to do a swap again. We don't have to check it again in some sense. So for this, we start at 1, 1. 1, 1 at the middle of this array, and that would be 5. 5 swap with 5 is still 5. Then we move on to 1, 2. 1, 2 is 6. right now, right here, 6. And so we're swapping 1, 2 with 2, 1, which is 2, which gives us this number here. And once you swap that, we get that matrix. But because it's not technically done yet, we have to go through row index again, because now column index is done, it's broken. Now row index becomes 2, and we're only doing 2 because row index is 2 and matrix.count minus 1 basically is 2. 2, 2 is itself. Itself with itself is itself. So 3 is still 3. Therefore, we get this answer right here. Then this is our reverse matrix. So to run it, we're going to run it now. And as you can see, I have a comment error because I was showing you how a diagram works without commenting it. Let's run that again. All right, so here we go. As you can see, our output is exactly what is expected. And just to show you efficiency, I already submitted this a couple of times probably. So yeah, okay, great, cool. So it turns out that this runtime is 100% better than any of the submissions for Swift in the rotate image. And memory usage is a lot less as well. So this is the perfect solution right now for rotate images. I hope going through this, you guys understood how this worked. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you like it, please like it. And if you want to watch more videos like this, please consider subscribing. Thanks and stay safe.